Hi. Yeah, look at that cute little guy. If I were to take, or if I was, I'm not sure if I were, I will take 5 minutes to try to explain who am I? Who is that cute little kid who became this 62-year-old white-haired guy? Paul Belt here. Yes, I was junior. I am junior. Paul Stewart Belt Jr. And so, trying to be a good steward of my time and my life, I would like to tell you a little bit about myself in a brief few minutes. Born in 1956, March 29th, I was a crisis pregnancy. You've heard that term. That means a woman who finds out she's pregnant and she's not married yet or not married at all. Well, they ran off and got married, my father, biological father, and my mother, and then had three more children after me. My younger brother Jay, my younger brother Harry, and not in this picture, my sister Betsy. But this is the home that I grew up in Coalinga, California. Poor. We didn't really know how poor we were because my mother made sure we had enough. Oh, what happened to my dad? Well, soon after this picture right here, and as my mother just found out she was pregnant with my sister, he was shipped off to Germany. And when he came back 2 years later, something had changed. His heart had changed. And he ended up leaving our family when I was 6 years old. I never heard from him again. So my mother, single mom, raising four kids by herself, she made sure we had what we needed. Mostly that we never had to wonder, is mom for us? She was always there for us. Here we are in what looks like choir robes. We were actually in a community musical of Noah's Flood, pronounced Flood. And we were all animals, or actually, I think I may have been one of the sons of Noah in that community production. And then here we are in Scott Plaids. She would actually make outfits for us. Our first time we went to Disneyland, we were all in our green Scott Plaids, so she could keep track of us. She made sure we went to church. We had Good News Club in our own home, and yes, summer camp at Camp San Joaquin, over 7,000 feet here in the mountains of the Sierra Nevadas in California. And if I can bring my cursor, yeah, I'm this cute guy right there. Honestly, I was a guy who was always looking for the cute girls most of my life as a teenager. And this is my little brother, Jay. In junior high, right here, and in high school, I was elected student body president. Not because I was the most popular or the captain of every team. I just had a desire to serve others, to be a friend to others, and my classmates and others recognized that. And so I was elected. Matter of fact, Kevin and I were the shortest two guys in our school or our class. We were president and vice president of our junior high, and then president and vice president of our high school 4 years later. While in high school, I came to know Jesus Christ as a central part of my life. So in college, it was important to me to pursue, what did God want to do with my life? Now, I'm the first one to attend college in my family. All the generations before me, no one had attended a university. Here's my Chico State. Yeah, I went to Chico State. ID card, and then my Continental Nut card because I worked my way through college. I was in a singing group because I still have this voice, and I did then. I enjoyed music and growing a beard, of course. This group was called Soul Perspective. And that has stuck with me. I am more interested in people's soul than probably anything else about them. More than what they look like or how much money they make or what kind of job they have. I am concerned about their soul condition. We were a folk group kind of style of music. We sang all over Northern California almost every Sunday for 2 years. And I met the heartthrob of my life and maneuvered a way to get to know her and have her know me. This is Debbie Schultz then, who then started to become my sidekick, if you will, for the next 42 years, and she still is my best friend. Here in her brother's wedding, And then my grandfather, probably the man that I was closest to growing up, with other men that God put into my life to understand how to be a man, how to be a dad. I had an amazing wedding, very musical wedding. Here's my wife and my mother, the most two important women of my life. Check out those velour collars, huh? And here's all of our bridesmaids and all of our groomsmen. It was a big affair. The joy of my life was to buy my mother her first car. A little over a year and a half, almost 2 years into our marriage, I worked for a car dealership and I was able to buy a car from my mom. Not a brand new one, but nonetheless a good one. She drove the wheels off of that Mazda. Here's our first son, Jeremiah, in that old school type picture. Virginia City, Lake Tahoe, California. And here's our first two boys, Jeremiah that I'm holding and Asa who's still in the oven, if you will. I was a youth pastor and we had to downsize things to accommodate the less income. What an amazing 6 years of pouring myself into young people. Oh, yeah, you want to know who I am right there? Yep, I had a perm. During those years, and actually through most of my life, I wanted people to have a good picture, an image of Jesus. This is my favorite portrait of Jesus. A Jesus laughing, full of life, full of vigor. And the scripture from Zephaniah 3:17, which was the prophecy of who Jesus would be. The Lord your God is in your midst, a victorious warrior. He will exult over you with joy. He will renew you with his love. He will rejoice over you with joy, with shouts of joy. Not just with any kind of joy. That's my life verse. I know that God sees me that way. The fatherless boy who became a father of boys. Here's, I think, three of ours anyway, maybe before our fourth one was born. And my brother and his two boys at the time, before he had a daughter, my sister and her boy, my grandmother and grandfather, and my mom. The boys are now all in one picture. 4 boys, the Belt boys, Jeremiah, Asa, Micah, and Joel. And here we are on our way to church on a Sunday morning with, 3 at that point. Jeremiah, Asa, and Micah before Joel was born. We've had a life full of laughter and fun. Here we are at a formal going away party for a pastor friend of ours who actually came dressed in a formal dress because that's what he thought we were supposed to do. It was a formal going away party. I think this actually may have been for my brother and sister-in-law when they moved to Boise for a short time. And here is the Belt family growing up. For 13 years, I took a part of what my life had been as an, divorced, or a child from the family of divorce, and I applied it to what God called me to when I worked with Youth for Christ for 15 years. Every week, I went to Mount Whitney High School for 13 years and led groups for kids from families of divorce, talking about what's going on in their life. I rediscovered that teenager inside of me that needed healing and extended that to as many teenagers as I could, grafted in youth pastors to help be a part of it. And this was probably one of the most dynamic on-campus opportunities in all the years that I was with Youth for Christ. During that time, I also had a radio show. For 6.5 years, I hosted a talk show at KDOV. Here's all the different bumper stickers of the time. And my business card from Youth for Christ. My program was called Heart to Heart because even then, I wanted to reach people's hearts, their souls, encourage them to know who they are. Here are my 4 sons as men. And then the joy to actually officiate and be involved with both of our older sons' weddings. And there is nothing like being a grandfather, being a grandparent. I don't want to leave my wife out. But these 2 pictures are with my 2 grandchildren, right after they were born. The joy of my life to actually have a heritage that I didn't have, so that my grandkids know their grandpa, just as their dads have known this father. Here's all of our family during the time that I was a pastor in a local church here in Visalia. All of us together, including my wife's brother and sister-in-law and their daughter. I am motivated by lions. The Lion of Judah, also known in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe as Aslan or Aslan. That's why my company of helping people expand who they are and be healthy and to heal has been Team Aslan for 16 years. But one of my favorite places in the world is the Cat Haven. That's what these pictures are from. A place where you can actually see exotic big cats in an amazing setting. My entire adult life has been about hugging the world, desiring to serve up health, body, mind, spirit. And so I've tried to apply myself to do just that in as many opportunities as possible. My company, my little business, whether it be this, doing voice over, speaking, whether it be teaching, whether it be designing websites, landing pages, selling toothpaste that's healthy for you, whether it's selling phytomeds, plant-based supplements to bring you health and wholeness. I'm all about serving up health. Here's my oldest two sons and my oldest two daughters in love, Sarah and Karen. We enjoy baseball. And this is a day out at the Giants game. And I have a creative wife that gets me involved in all kinds of things. Here we are as Thing 1 and Thing 2 at her elementary school as we actually celebrate Dr. Seuss. Actually, I think this also was when we went to a costume party. The second one here is, well, Beauty and the Beast. I make a good beast. She is a creative woman that keeps me busy, helping her to ignite and encourage young people. Oh, ignite! That's what we call that Sunday evening service that I led for 15 months, almost a year and a half, at a local church that I was actually associate pastor for 3 years. But that's what I am. I'm a communicator, whether it be in the pulpit or here at the microphone or one-on-one. I'm designed to communicate. And here are our parents, Mom and Dad Schultz and my mom. Dad Schultz and my mom are now with Jesus. We have a heritage, a legacy to continue to extend our family and to have that family love other people around them. And then 6 years ago, I had open heart surgery. And soon after that surgery, we went to our favorite place in the mountains, in the sequoias, being outdoors. If nothing else, I have learned from having this man touch my heart and heal, repair this birth defect of my mitral valve that leaks so badly. I've learned that life is short. Life is something that every day you should make the most of it. And so I have actually had a wide breadth, if you will, of types of businesses I've been involved with. My Team Aslan, Zango, New Skin. I've been a computer technician for our local school district. Yeah, I'm kind of a nerd / pastor / vocalist / communicator. Here's a picture from doing a wedding of a dear friend of ours and my singing in a local production. My wife has been my best friend for 42 years, married 40 years this summer. I would do anything for her. I desire to make sure she has the most of me. I've not been perfect, but I recommit myself every day to be the best I can for her. And that brings me to where I am today. I am all about heal. I want you to be healed. And so I represent a company called Heal. And we want to bring health and healing to everyone we can. Who am I? That's who I am. Every day asking, what are you going to do with your life today? Hopefully, it's been 5 minutes or less getting to know a little bit about Paul and my life story and how I can make a difference in your life.